hate you so much.
I like it. I think it's
I'm going to crop it down.
What's he got, the dome shot?
What's that? He always sets the camera right here, so I'm like, "Hi, Lucas, how you doing?" I think he does it intentionally, dick.
See, I don't see the podcast. I always listen in the car.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, for everybody listening, we're just pointing out that David's about 4 inches shorter than everybody else in the room.
Are you recording?
Yeah, 4 inches is 4 inches, David.
Wizard of Oz.
Bob Leonard, Mobility Works. What's up, brother? How you doing?
I'm doing real good.
Very good.
I've had a very good week.
Yeah. So we're at Tools in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Where are you from?
I'm right outside of Philadelphia.
Nice. Nice.
Born and raised Philadelphia.
Very cool.
So,
very cool. USS New Jersey is in Camden, right across the
yes,
water.
I've had the tour.
Dude, it's pretty slick.
It's
the nicest of all the Iowa class battleships, just so you know.
When you go through the guns,
yeah,
it's like 18 inches thick. It's
dude.
Kind of crazy.
It is. It's pretty wild. So tell us, who is Bob Leonard? What does Bob Leonard do?
Currently working for Mobility Works. We sell service, install products for vehicles for the physically disabled.
Gotcha.
So everybody's familiar with the big lifts, school buses, retirement homes. But a lot of what we do are minivans that have a ramp passenger side. We have a lot of customers who drive from wheelchairs with hand controls.
Yeah.
And I guess 15% of our installs are high tech, which even scare me to this day. You're driving with a joystick.
Right. Yeah, for
Gas,
sure.
brake, left, right, with no physical feedback. Like the regular hand controls.
Now, I've not driven one of those. I've driven a vehicle that has regular hand controls, and we've worked on quite a few wheelchair lifts, right? But I've never driven one that had like a joystick.
Yeah, that's, and when you build them, you have to do a 50 miles driving cert.
Right.
Because you install a computer. So it's got a black box. So you do that. The first time I did it, at 15 miles, I had a real pucker factor.
Right.
I was like pulling over, getting a Gatorade, getting a hot dog.
Yeah.
And I had to drive left-handed because that's where it was mounted.
I'm
Yeah.
left-handed, but I mean, if you're right-handed, that's a deal.
It was bad. It was joystick and it was left hand. And I got through the first half. I was talking to a guy I know, and he says, "Oh, just take it off, put it in your lap. Take the input, put it in your lap. It doesn't matter where it is."
I should have thought of that.
Duh. I'm smart. And it made it much better.
Yeah.
But it's hard to get used to.
Well, I've ran equipment for years, and most equipment's fly-by-wire, right? Especially new dozers and stuff like that. It's fly-by-wire. And so I don't guess it's that much different than that, right? Except I'm running 50.
Yeah, I just think that there's more feedback in your hand. Like the regular hand controls, you have that feel of the gas brake.
Yeah,
it's
for sure.
It's there. When you're holding a joystick, think of big Nintendo.
Right.
If you let go when it's all the way to the one side, it snaps straight. So did the front wheels.
Yeah. So
it's a wake up.
Yeah, I'd say so.
You got to kind of gradually. It doesn't do that alignment pull back evenly thing.
Yeah.
You got to like real easy. Yeah.
See, that's sketchy.
Yeah.
That's very sketchy.
Yeah. It's interesting.
So how did you get into mobility?
The only thing I haven't done is worked at a dealer.
Okay.
I've worked at every kind of independent job.
That's why you're still in the industry, by the way.
I firmly believe that. Right from the beginning, when I first started, I was like, no, because I know me. You're going to tell me if I can do 2 of them instead of 1 of them in an hour, I will go down the dark path. Trust me, I'll do it.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be there. That's not fun. I got to have fun. I got to enjoy it.
Yeah.
So.
You see that video that Dutch shared?
Which one?
With the guy taking the
the
Blendor actuator, I think is what it was.
Yeah. Where it was a
customer pay was
job.
8 hours.
Yeah.
It's 5.2 warranty pay. Guy had it done in 25 minutes.
What did he bend?
What's that?
What did he bend?
He it's one of the ones where it's sandwiched between 2 boxes. And so he did manage to get it out, and it didn't look like he broke anything. But the thing is, Why did he post it on social media?
I know, it's so
they're going to
stupid.
drop those times now.
He's so proud of himself too. He's like, oh, look what I did. Like, okay.
Keep it to yourself.
Yeah,
keep the
especially
check.
like the problem was Dutch said on the invoice, because it was customer pay, it's 8 hours. You got to think they're paying for the removal of the box.
Yeah.
So it's going to be coolant, evac and recharge of the AC system, maybe a cabin air filter. There's going to be stuff on there that
you didn't do.
That you didn't do.
And so you shouldn't get paid for.
So you shouldn't get paid for it.
Yeah.
And the guy was bragging that he was getting paid 8 hours to do something in 25 minutes.
Yeah, the worst case I saw of that was a Chevy dealer. And they had an oil leak on a Corvette.
Okay.
So this is one of the newer ones with the big torque tube.
Yeah.
Going back. And the tech said, oh, it's a rear main seal. So they order the seal, comes back a week or two later. And right before he starts, the old guy next to him says, you might want to look on top. Because that's where the oil pressure sending unit is.
Didn't even look up there.
You know, the $3 oil pressure sending unit.
Yeah.
Well, they replaced that and billed GM for the round trip.
For the rear main seal.
Everything. That was okay right up until the moment GM was just doing their yearly inventory of parts. And they're like, what's this seal for?
Yeah.
Like they weren't smart enough to throw it out.
Right.
Basically.
Yeah, for sure.
Throw it out, dummy. What? You don't show.
At some point, you got to think, well, these technicians, because if he hadn't said anything, he could have just thrown that part into his toolbox.
Yes.
Is it okay for GM to come in and start checking toolboxes?
No, but they didn't part it out from the parts counter when it came back.
Yeah, but
I know what you're saying.
That's the dealership hiding it. Okay, great. Or the tech was smart enough to go sneaky enough. Let's say it that way. He was sneaky enough to say, I'm going to still say that the rear main seal was replaced so I can get paid the whatever, 18, 25, whatever, how many hours it was. But I'm going to throw this part into my toolbox. They could all be doing that. All the technicians could be doing that. They're throwing parts into the toolbox that they didn't replace, that the manufacturer's paying the technicians to replace. Is it okay then for the manufacturer I need to check your toolbox?
I was told.
And then what if the dealership is paying for the toolbox? Like, what if they pull a Seth Thorson? Like, Hendrick pays for the toolbox. It's my toolbox. You're just putting your tools in my toolbox.
So I can check it.
I can check it anytime I want.
Yeah. I was told by a dealer service manager one time. He said that when he hired a new tech, that he always walked to the back of the shop and he was always talking to him. He said, walk up when they move their toolbox in. And he said, oh, man, that's a beautiful box. He said, I'd start asking questions about the toolbox. He said, if they started opening drawers to show me the toolbox and I found a bunch of packs of parts that weren't used, he said, I wouldn't even let them finish moving in. He said, I'd just say, hey, man, I don't think it's going to work out. Sorry, got to move your box. I'll pay to have it moved wherever you want it to go. And he said that because they had so many dealer techs that they would look at the toolbox and it would have piles of parts. I mean, piles and piles of parts. They'd open the big drawer in the bottom.
Yeah, there's a line though. Like, what if they have a giant box of or giant drawer full of O-rings, just random O-rings?
Yeah, but I mean, we all have those.
If they have
that's what I'm saying.
If they have a collection of the Ford T-Bird saddle fuel pump assemblies.
Yeah.
That's a real gimme because it was the broken wire. Not that I've heard that story, and I'm like, Ford was issuing these fuel pump setups in the saddle T-Birds.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess what I'm saying is like, remember Nate that worked for me? When he came in, he had probably 250 Ford door latch parts for that door latch recall.
Okay.
And so, like, if I had thought about that for a minute, it was that he was doing the recall and he wasn't putting the parts in the cars, right? Why else would you have that many door latches? There's no... He
wasn't doing the complete repair? Or because
he
you still got to fix it. Oh, it's a recall. Like, it's not even broken.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's federal. It's a hazard to some extent when you say recall.
Yeah.
You got to do it.
If it's a recall, sure.
Yeah.
But why wouldn't you replace it? Like, what do you think is going to happen? It's going to break.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I guess his thing is in his mind, I mean, we all know about how all that turned out. In his mind, he was making a fortune he would do the driver door. So, and later on, he eventually admitted to that, but he did the driver door because if the advisor walked out to look at it, he would see that the driver door had been messed with or gone through. He wouldn't go open the other doors. So he didn't know. So he just did the driver door and then build them for all 4 doors.
That's messed up.
Yeah.
That's stealing.
I'm just saying.
Is what it
I
is.
agree.
That's
I agree.
stealing.
But that's a good way that you could catch it, I guess, is what I'm
Is the guy at the Toyota dealership billing for 8 hours and doing it in 25?
I don't know that would be stealing. Did you
What?
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't sent it to him. I've been busy.
Doing what?
I got a lot of stuff I got to do.
Ron, I'm so sorry. David,
I called him though. We had a whole conversation. We had a great conversation. And I called him specifically to avoid having to put together a stupid sheet and send it to him. He still wanted the sheet.
he's lazy.
It's not that I'm lazy. I've got a lot of things going on. I do. It's your fault. You're the one that signed up for more work. And then Braxton tried to get out of it.
Do you guys want to be alone?
No, I don't want to. Okay. That's the last thing I want to do.
So we're not supposed to be doing insider baseball. We're not.
You're a terrible person.
Anyway.
So anyway, I was at the shop. I wasn't real happy.
Yeah.
I was looking. And believe it or not, it wasn't Craigslist. I'm
Okay.
like looking through. I was at a shop and kind of weird description. So I take a ride and fill an app, go. And I'll never forget the interview. So service manager and store manager. And they're asking me all these questions. I really didn't have a full grasp
Yeah.
what was going on. And the one question is, how are you thinking outside of the box, outside of specific directions? I guess all right if you're just asking me, okay. And then they look at me and they go, well, how do you feel about dealing with people with disabilities? Unfortunately, I smirked.
Yeah.
Because the reason is, and I had to explain myself really fast. I was like, I grew up with a brother with Down syndrome.
Yeah.
My mother was one of 12 families that started an agency from a summer day camp. That's a $50 million nonprofit. I don't know what people with disabilities are. They're just other people to me. So
for sure.
You're really not asking a good question.
Yeah.
I said, I don't have any problem. I've seen a lot more than you ever will.
Yeah.
So that coupled with when they took me on a tour of the shop, it was August and it was air conditioned.
Oh, wow.
I literally froze. I stopped. Looking up at the vent and watching the vent.
Yeah.
He goes, oh, yeah, it's air conditioned. I said, I'll take the job. I'm like, it's very clean.
Yeah.
Most of the vehicles are new to 2, 3, 4 years old for the most part.
Right.
And we were talking earlier when my customers say thank you.
Yeah. So it's very different.
It's sincere.
Yeah.
It is sincere.
Right.
Okay. I've known customers 10, 11 years now.
Yeah.
They've come back, different products, different vans, whatever.
For sure.
People in the company I've known that long.
Yeah.
So
what were you doing before you worked there?
everything. Mostly electrical diagnostics, that kind of thing.
How'd you get into it? How'd you get into automotive?
I went to Temple University on a full ride for music and failed the first semester.
Okay.
Because I didn't know I had brain damage. And I can't do lectures. I can't sit there and suck it in. You're going to talk. Forget it.
Are you saying I have brain damage? Is that what it is?
Yeah, that might be it.
That was a blank check, I guess. Sorry about that. One of you was getting it. I'm sorry. But
I signed it and sent it, buddy.
I have a form of, it's called temporal lobe epilepsy. I don't do the seizure thing so much as it interferes with conversations before the meds. But it happened when I was a baby.
Okay.
I never knew it until it really messed up some relationships.
Well, so how did you find out? Well, tell us.
You
the
know
story.
when someone says, if you're going to put on the coffee table, put a coaster on it. This is a simple example. And next day, you do that.
Yeah.
And they said, I thought, oh, yeah, you did. And then you go in the bathroom, you look at the guy in the mirror and you ask him, and he's not really giving you good answers.
Yeah.
And I knew a therapist, and I said, no, I got to go talk to somebody. I don't have answers for me.
Yeah.
And she sat there, and in 20 minutes, she went in the closet, came out, piece of paper. She said, don't do 1 to 10 like it says. Identify with it. Just tell me how many you identify with. All of them except this one. What's that?
Yeah.
She says, I can't diagnose you. I have to send you to a neurologist.
Wow.
You know, this is above my pay grade. I pretty much know what he's going to say.
Yeah.
I can't
say
diagnose that.
Yeah.
The reason she knew is her son had it.
Oh, wow.
So
That's a lucky.
It was a dead ringer. She had it.
Yeah.
So I went through like 8-hour neuropsych test, a PET scan, all kinds of tests.
How old were you when this happened?
28,
Okay.
you know. And between the medication and the tools she taught me, I'm a much nicer person to be around.
Right.
I didn't have a fuse. I just had the gunpowder.
Right.
I would just go off. It wasn't just temper. It was just frustration. Hell with it. I don't care.
Yeah.
And that made all the difference.
Right.
So, yeah, I get up every morning, take my cocktail pills.
Right.
And then I'm real, like my work orders look like I've written a book on the back.
What are the medications doing exactly?
The one is, hold this away from me. You would think I'm Italian. No. The one medication is an anti-seizure type anti-convulsive.
Okay.
But I don't do that flipping on the floor.
Yeah.
I'm not entertaining at all.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You would, my neurologist, best example yet, you're sitting in a room watching TV with me.
Yeah.
And, you know, there's people on an island, shipwrecked. 20 minutes later, they're off the island. I look at you and go, how'd they get off? Now, if somebody walked in the room, I'd notice. If you talked to me, I would notice. There was never a reason to take my license. I don't totally black.
Right.
It's
subtle.
It's subtle. It's conversational. I did not know how to say the word no.
Okay.
Ask me for help. I would draw. Okay. Yeah. That kind of idea. I didn't know how to express myself.
Are you spacing out? This is really interesting to me. Are you just like tuning out, like zoning out? Or are you like going off into your mind's eye and like going off into
Like a pause button.
Wow. That's crazy.
But all my sensors are still still there. Like the door slams, or you turn the TV off, or you throw something at me. But
what's going on in your mind in that moment when
it's a great question. I don't have those moments anymore.
you don't remember?
No.
Because I'll get lost in my thoughts. Like there'll be some rabbit hole, and I'll go down that rabbit hole.
Oh.
Completely tune out what's going on around me.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, how'd they get off the island? I wasn't paying attention. But it's because, I'm like, thinking about this, and then that led me to this, and then led me, and I've got a whole thing going on in my head.
Yeah. Now my ADD is like kind of a corollary to that damage. It's because of it. So the one medication is trying to bring both sides of my brain up to the same speed. Idea. Think of like two tires in the back.
Yeah.
One's turning 60, it's doing 40. It's not going to be a good idea. And the other one's kind of an anti-seizure, which I can't say I really truly feel that effect, but I know it works.
Okay.
I can see the differences in me.
Yeah, for sure.
And I just had to learn a lot of tools. I spent a year going to this therapist, and I'm telling you, the best money I ever spent.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm telling you.
Absolutely.
Anybody says, I'm thinking about you, go.
Yeah.
I don't care why. I don't want to know why. Go. I'll drive you.
Yeah.
I wouldn't listen to a thing they'd tell me. I'm
No,
like, you're crazy.
That's just it. Is like when you go, Like you think that they're going to be telling you things, but they rarely tell you things. Most of the time they're listening. And then
I won't tell them anything.
It's the questions that they'll ask. And then you're going to hear yourself say answers
and your mind
that you would have never asked yourself.
You don't have those conversations with yourself?
No, this is
I got a lot of voices to take care of that. So
well, that's what I'm saying. Like I got a lot of voices in my head like telling me stuff, and I'm like, I'm asking myself questions. I'm trying to hash things out in my head.
Bathtub toaster, bathtub toaster, bathtub toaster.
I gotta tell that like not today. My kids might find me. That'd be bad.
It's like some people think the ADD, I can't focus. No, I'm hyper focused. I will ignore you.
You will hyper focus on the wrong things.
No, I've gotten better at that. You know, and I can juggle. I ran a shop for 10 years.
Yeah.
I could do, if 5 guys doing this, I could check this. I could wander, no problem. I've seen people, you get more than 2 tasks, you flatline them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I don't have a problem with that. Which works out great where I'm at now. So I'm going into my 13th year with the company.
Wow. I didn't realize you'd been there that long.
Yeah. That's the longest everywhere.
Yeah.
Including the voices in my head. Some of them ain't been here to sell them. But I'm in a position now where I don't want to say I'm the answer man, but I am.
Yeah.
I've got the experience. I've always been one to go to class, education, training.
Yeah.
How do you do that? I want to know. People say, oh, you're not afraid to do anything. Oh, no, I'm just too stupid not to try. There's a real difference here. I got thick skin. I bounce well. So I'll do it. So that works out well where I'm at now.
So you ran a shop for a while. Tell us, how did you get from the full ride scholarship to Automotive?
So you got, come home and tell the parents, you know that thing in college? Nah, that ain't gonna play. I'm going nuts. Look, I did 12 years of Catholic school, getting A's. Yeah. If you gave me the book and said chapters 3 to 6, I'll be back Friday.
Yeah,
I'll go back Friday, take your test. Yeah, I'll be back Monday. Tell me the next one. I'm fine that way.
Yeah,
but when it's not structured, the bottom falls out. Now, I was always very, I was going to say hand oriented. Always using I was a musician.
Yeah.
I was always
play?
Bass guitar, then bass guitar.
Okay.
And I was, my mom, I was always taking stuff apart.
Yeah.
It was like always getting it back together.
Yeah.
That's a different talent sometimes.
I'm there.
And I was dumb enough to try to put the belt on the electric dryer and didn't know there were circuit breakers. And when the wall's only 2 feet behind you, it's a real short distance to bounce.
Yeah.
Probably saved my life more than anything.
But I've done that.
I didn't care. So there were a couple of guys, one guy in particular, no training, always worked on his own car. I mean, he beat ball joints in and out of his Chevy right there on a jack stand, his driveway. And I guess I kind of blame him for some of it.
Okay.
So when the college didn't work out, your parents go, oh, what are you going to do now? Lincoln Tech was close by, and I went there for a year and a half.
Okay.
And my biggest mystifying moment was fuel. Mm-hmm. So you got this pipe, brings fuel in, somehow gets everywhere.
Yeah.
And then I went to the class, I went, that's it. Seriously? That is really all there is. There's a bowl, there's a vacuum. Come on now. There's got to be some more mysteries here.
Yeah.
I spent the first 6 years in the business rebuilding carburetors. Guys were like, how'd you dump them on cookie pans?
Yeah.
And rebuild them. I was like, this is a joke. I like this. So I know it sounds like 180-degree change, but I'd always done stuff with my hands.
What was your parents' perspective of that? Going from music to automotive?
I don't know if Dad had much to say. He was kind of glad that he came from that. His parents, you're going to go to college, get a job, or go to the military
thing.
So he was kind of like, okay, well, this will lead to a job. My Mom, on the other hand, that took a little bit of pry bar.
Right.
That big old pry bar. Because I was an honor student.
Yeah.
I just was. I failed a class in high school and still got honors and drove the teacher nuts.
Right.
Because of my other grade.
Yeah.
I was just a good student. As long as there's a book.
Yeah.
After that, I get in trouble.
Right.
To this day, I probably have the largest collection of manuals, books. I have every training manual
Wow.
lined up. I got it just everywhere.
So you come out of the music school. You go into Lincoln Tech. Where did you find your next employment? How did that go?
Okay, so finishing up Lincoln Tech, got a job at a gas station, pumping gas at night, maybe fixing a flat. Then he took me on during the day. I really learned what it's like to work in a place for a guy you should never work for.
Okay.
This guy was horrible. I wanted to find him years later so bad and just throat punch him for general purpose. He just took advantage.
What did he do to take advantage? What's your
Okay, just got out of tech school. Well, here's a water pump. Go do that.
Yeah.
Now,
Never
back
done
in the
one
day
before.
when there's 4 belts,
Yeah.
17 things in the front of a motor, and the water pump has 15 bolts.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you don't know to have a system, if you don't know,
Yeah.
yeah, we can do them in our sleep now. But no, you don't do this to the new kid.
Yeah.
And he's paying me peanuts. But the funny thing was that one of the teachers at the time at the tech school,
Okay.
now Reedman is a huge dealership just outside of Philly.
Yeah.
They literally had every car line. Jaguar, Ford, Chevy, everybody.
Right.
Mr. Reedman hired every mechanic.
Oh wow.
Oh, yeah, you came into a marble test about this size, and you had to deal with Mr. Reedman.
Yeah.
He had A techs, B techs, and C techs. A techs diagnosed and rebuilt, because in those days you rebuilt alternators, starters, whatever.
Yeah.
B techs did line work, would pull the parts after they diagnosed and put it back. C techs are what C techs are.
Yeah.
And his son took over, and they lost 15 A techs
Holy cow.
real quick. And 9 of them ended up at the tech school.
Yeah.
These guys were great. I was real fortunate. So I met one of them at a movie, going to the movies.
Yeah.
Mr. Greg Marshall. What are you doing? Da-da-da-da. Come down and see me. Got a place? Well, okay. Didn't think of it. Put the card in my pocket. 2 weeks later, I get a call. When you coming down?
Yeah.
Okay. But this is a guy that could show you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Saturdays, there were extra guys would come in. There'd be other techs from the school,
Yeah.
and they would explain things. You know, how to find a misfire test light. You know, slide it in the distributor cap trick. Things like that they don't show you nowhere.
Yeah.
And that's where I really learned a lot,
Gotcha.
you know. And I would say that every job from there, it was time for me to grow. It's just time for me to
Go to that next
move
step.
on. Actually, I left there because everybody was coming to me instead of him.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, 22-year-old kid.
Right.
You know, he was out sick for 4 months. Everybody got in the habit.
Right.
I understand. Whatever.
Yeah.
It's your playground. I get it.
Well, and it sounds like he loved teaching.
Yeah.
It sounds like he was massively motivated to teach. And it's weird because I hear 2 different sides of that in our industry today. I hear one side which says there's people who are gatekeeping and trying to keep the young guys from coming in and trying to keep the young guys from getting the information. Me personally, I love to share knowledge, right? I think it's the funnest thing you could do. Like, it's so cool to be able to share that and watch them pick up on it, right? I don't have the patience for it. I'm not a very good teacher, but it's a lot of fun to do that. What do you think differentiates that? Why do you think some guys are trying to gatekeep while other guys are trying to just share every bit of knowledge they have?
Confidence.
Think so?
Just plain simple. They're afraid of the junior's going to take the job because he's obviously younger, probably faster.
Yeah.
You know, he can turn a wrench faster. So if he knows everything I do and he's 15 years younger and the boss gets him for $5 less an hour, do the math. You know, and that's I don't know. Maybe it's being simplistic.
No, I mean, I don't think it is. I think you're probably right. But like, I wouldn't do that as a shop owner.
What?
It's a shop owner. You want them both.
Yeah, you want them both. But the problem is that the guy who's gatekeeping is holding back the other guy.
Yeah.
So he's not advancing as well as he could. And look, I'm a frustrated teacher. I was a trainer for the company for Ability Works for 3 years.
Yeah.
I loved it. I wish I had known about being a teacher in the automotive world 10, 15 years ago. I am age prohibited now to make the change. That's all. Too many rodeos.
Yeah.
That's
You're
fine.
what, 35, bro? Come on now.
36.
Okay.
So
All right, then.
those numbers are actually backwards. Not actually 64 as of last week. So, yeah. And if I had known now what I knew then, I definitely would have.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, so we all know Brandon Steckler.
Yeah. Teaching here right now.
Yeah. So Jim Wharton, we met him at the same time, same class. He used to teach 2 nights a week, once a month at Bumper to Bumper.
Yep.
And we just ended up being there. And then we became the guys that showed up early and stayed late
Yeah.
because that's how you get the goodies, right? That's where you learn some stuff. And he really said, he was like, you two, push and push and push. And when Brandon took off, it was like a father. He was so happy.
Yeah.
And then when I got my training position, he was just like, he was ecstatic,
Yeah.
you know? So like the credit for, and there's so many really good trainers out there, so many. And I've been very lucky. I'll say 95 percentile.
Yeah.
I've hit home runs.
Yeah.
And it's great. And I have the patience.
Right.
And I'm married to a teacher.
Yeah. Well, so is that the future of the career? Wait, you're at the mobility company right
Yeah.
now?
So I'm kind of like, I handle the really hard stuff. Mm-hmm. I train the new guys. They occasionally send me a new guy from somewhere else for certain product lines.
Yeah.
And my phone still rings a lot from the people.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm doing this, and this. Actually, one of the vendors has started sending people my way.
Right.
So,
yeah. Is that so? You know, and I'm not calling you old. Don't take it that way. But as we age, right? Like the position has to change. There's no way around that. And so, what is your vision of the future? What does the future of your career look like from this point moving forward?
I am always on the lookout for that teaching position.
Right.
But like these guys travel. Mm-hmm. I did that for 3 years.
Yeah.
That can wait. That I'm sure you know. It can be wear and tear.
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
I did 2 6-week stints.
Yeah.
Now, as an aside, me and my wife, we've raised 8 seeing eye puppies.
Holy cow.
And Labradors. They're a dog that knows you after day one.
Yeah.
They're like your best buddy. I came home on a Friday night. His dog's 6 months old, and it's doing the Michael Jackson moonwalk backwards away from me. It don't know me.
Yeah.
That was a real sign.
Right. I haven't been on the road too much.
Now, 5 minutes later, everything's fine. But when I saw the dog backing up, I'm like, yeah, that and the fact that I have trouble moving some days because it's just airport to airport.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
If I can get around the travel thing, I'm good.
Right.
But
you think in trade school? You think in high school?
Trade school.
Okay.
Trade schools are easier because most of the high schools you require for teacher certification.
Yeah.
So you basically need the 4-year or a 2-year program and something like that.
Yeah.
The trade schools they want to see you put it up.
Yeah.
If you can do it and you got the background, okay.
Right. Right. For sure.
They're going to know real fast.
Yeah.
It's like no joke.
There's a lot of really good schools around this area. Isn't
Yeah.
there?
Yeah. There's still Lincoln Tech I went to. And I do keep in touch with those. I've done some part-time for them.
Okay.
There's UTI. There's one close by in me, Central Montgomery Tech School. Matter of fact, my high school, it's all boys Catholic high school.
Yeah.
They took the rectory, leveled it, made it a trade center.
Oh, wow.
So they have automotive, welding. I don't know what the third one is, but the juniors in the welding class have already been offered jobs when they graduate at $75,000 a year.
Yeah.
It made national.
Yeah.
It was in the Wall Street Journal. I was like, wow.
Right.
Like 40 years ago, I remember being there,
Yeah.
and it was all academic.
Right.
So
I think the academics are beginning to see that the trades are valuable. I think they see that they're important. So the local 4-year school in my area has begun to recognize that, hey, we need to be thinking about the trades. We need to be thinking about nursing programs. We need to be thinking about veterinarian programs. We need to be thinking about other things. Those were conventionally reserved for community colleges,
right,
or specialized trade schools, right? And so I think we're beginning to see that shift in academia, that they're saying, hey, we're not filling the whole picture here. We're missing some things. Do you think that's...
Yeah. I work in Jersey, right across the river from Philadelphia and St. Louis. And the store manager has 3 daughters.
Okay.
And the middle one in high school interned as a vet tech.
Okay.
And she could have done, there's other programs. So she's going to walk right into a veterinary school
Yeah.
when she comes out.
Right.
It's like already the path's there.
Yeah.
They're waiting,
For sure.
holding the door.
Yeah.
Get in here. So yeah, I think there has been a big change. We've all seen the Mike Rowe commercials,
Yeah.
And the people at this old house. They've been big proponents.
For sure.
And then you look at all these people. One got the 4-year degree. He got student loans.
And they're working at McDonald's.
And they're having trouble
Yeah.
paying bills.
Yeah.
And
Years ago, I heard somebody say that a 4-year degree used to be a guaranteed job. Mm-hmm. And now nobody believes that anymore, and they shouldn't, right? Like, that's absolutely where we're at. Why do you think, though, when we look at education, when we look especially at trade schools, because the welders are getting jobs real easy, there is a technician shortage that everybody talks about, but yet they're retaining their people and we're not. What do you think the difference is?
How do you know they're retaining our people?
I've got friends who own welding companies, gas companies, and they've got guys that have worked for them for 25 and 30 years at this point, just welding, right? That they brought right out of school. Mm-hmm. I know carpenters and plumbers that have been running the same guys for years, right? And statistically speaking, like you talk to the community colleges, and they've got a number. They can tell you how much they contributed to the economy. But then you go talk to those schools about the automotive programs, and they're saying, man, they're chewing our kids up and they're spitting them out.
yeah, we do eat our young.
Yeah.
And you think about, okay, so if you're going to be a welder, union carpenter, you carry a canvas bag.
Yeah.
A welder, you bring your mask and your gloves and your apron.
Yeah.
And I insure my tools currently at $88,000.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's like, seriously?
Barrier of entry.
It's...
Yeah. Well, one of the educator's points was he said, you're taking these 16, 17, 18, 19-year-old kids, you're pulling them into a shop, and what you're doing is you're shoving them on a loop rack, you're shoving them on a tire machine, and you're never giving them the opportunity to expand their knowledge because they're making you a lot of money changing tires. And so once they get good at tires, they don't really want to move them, or once they get fast at oil changes, they don't want to move them. And I'm sitting here thinking, well, gosh, couldn't we turn them into a higher production employee? They're working on bigger things, more profitable things. As I've developed as a business owner, I can see, though, like the brake jobs make more money than the engine jobs. The brake jobs make more money than diagnostic jobs, right? And I think there's a bit of a problem in our industry because we're taking all these guys and sending them to diagnostic training. And per capita, the work in the repair shop is more profitable when it's repairs, and we really don't have that much work to do as far as diagnostic work. Now, a guy like you, you're specialized, right? You're gonna have plenty of work to do because the other guys can't do it.
Right.
But the only reason there is so much demand for a diagnostic specialist right now is because the other guy can't do it.
Right.
And if we had everybody trained up to the same level that you are, guess what? There wouldn't be enough work in that to go around. Like,
I guess one of the things when Carm said changing the term to specialist, there's nothing wrong with being an engine specialist,
right?
A transmission specialist,
for sure.
A lot of people are like, well, unless you could do everything. I don't do transmissions.
Yeah.
I never will. You don't have enough money to even bait me into that conversation.
Yeah.
Do I have my SC transmissions? Sure. You want to know why? Because they put wires in the things.
Yeah.
They're computer controlled. That's when I passed. The first time, I couldn't pass.
Yeah.
When it was ASC. Second time around when I recertified, they put wires in here.
Yeah. I got
fine.
this. Yeah.
Okay. So that worked for me. I think there's a lot of education that has to go on after tech school.
Yeah.
I'm always grateful I went to tech school. I know why the four-cycle motor goes around in a circle.
Yeah.
I know why. Over the years, I know why a coil. I know why the spark gets out of there and goes to there. I know why.
Yeah.
Over the years, they just don't know why.
Yeah.
They don't know why the cam gear is twice as big as a crank gear.
Yeah.
I mean, that was like, I don't know how many times for years. They had no clue.
But it seems like it was intriguing to us. It seems like understanding why it did what it did was just as important as, like, the goal was not to get, how do I want to say this? To a degree, the goal has become getting the education to get the job, to get the paycheck, right?
Right.
When I learned this, it's because I wanted to know how it worked. Right? I enjoyed understanding how it worked.
I guess I got into the business when it was almost all carbs. Then we switching over fuel high energy ignition.
Yeah.
Wind conventional electronic ignition. Now we went to fuel injection. But the thing is, if you knew the basics, you're just adding a layer.
Right.
When you didn't know, that's when these guys. I know of a story, and I was there to see it.
Yeah.
At a certain major city's garage,
Right.
where the service writer cannot give technicians strut assemblies on a vehicle's front-wheel drive. They don't do front-wheel drive. They don't do drive axles on front-wheel drive. I swear. They've been in that garage for 20 years. I'm telling you. Really?
Why?
Because it's front-wheel drive. Somebody put the motor in wrong to them. They can't wrap their head. They don't want to try.
Yeah.
They're afraid of failure. I sit here and guess all day why, but I saw it happen. I was like, I was thunder. I flatlined. I'm like, what? It's just nuts and bolts. This is the easy parts.
Yeah.
Seriously?
Right. And as we see technology changing, right? So you take a shop like that and you see the technology that we're putting in automobiles now, right? I remember, and I'm sure you'll remember this with the kind of work you're in. I remember years ago when we would install radios and we would install remote starts and things for people. And they started giving out these CAN modules for these components that were required, so we didn't end up setting a fault code, or if we wanted it to communicate with the steering wheel controls, right? And that felt like a big deal, but I understood the concept of it. I understood how it worked, but I kept getting these vehicles from other facilities, and they had butchered it, and they had made a mess of things. They didn't understand what it did. They didn't understand why it did what it did, right? And I'm not saying that I'm some great tech or something like that. I guess my point in saying that is that, like, now we're in a whole different genre of that, right? Like, if you don't know what you're doing, you will shut a $75,000 car down and you won't get it running again. Like, you'll have to find somebody that knows what they're doing to get the car running.
Yeah, like if you drill a hole in the driver's floor of a BMW X5 and find the battery.
Yeah.
That's only a $48,000 repair.
Yeah.
And I can say that number because I know the shop that did it. I'm not making that one up. Okay. Yeah. Nobody got hurt. But yeah. Now, my first question is, how did you not know it wasn't a hybrid?
Right.
Okay.
Did you even care?
How about the dash doesn't have a tachometer anymore? It has a speedometer and a charge gauge. I've never seen one without. There's always something there. You had to see that.
Yeah.
Even if you missed it on the tailgate, the dash, can't miss it.
Yeah.
That immediately you should have started thinking, before I drill for oil to install this product, we might want to find out what things are.
Yeah. Well, but I mean, like, would you, come on now, like, would you, a good technician drill a hole in a floorboard in the first place without knowing what's underneath it or what you're trying to accomplish, how you're going to reseal it? I mean, like, but we
Well, I
see
know
it.
someone did, so.
Well, but I mean, we see it all the time.
Yeah.
Right? I see it come into the shop all the time from some of these other places. That's not doing much to uplift our industry.
No.
That's not making things better for our industry. It's not giving us a better reputation. And here's the thing is the guys who are talking about giving us a better reputation and making the industry better, it's not those guys. But
No.
they make up the majority, do they not?
I think, like most bad news, it takes that much
Yeah.
to get on the network. They don't spend much time telling you the good stuff that happened today.
Yeah.
Hey, that's fact life.
Hundreds of thousands of cars will roll out of repair shops today, fixed properly and with no issues. Good to go.
How
That's the
long did
one.
it take that undercover news team that rigged the car?
Mm-hmm.
How many shops did they have to try?
Yeah.
Okay. Like the state of Pennsylvania, their emission program, that has its own comic relief.
Yeah.
Okay. First off, they make you buy a $5,000 gas cap tester.
A $5,000 gas.
Separate from the computer that hooks up to the data link connector. But here's my question. You could take a hypodermic needle and put a pinhole in a vacuum hose, and it's going to catch it. Okay?
Yeah.
You really don't think it's going to catch that gas cap? Okay. But you got to take it off and test it separately. But the better part is twice a year they come around, they do what they call covert inspection.
Right.
It's the same old guy, the same check engine light,
Yeah.
the same missing PCV valve with this, whatever. It's just never,
Yeah.
It's like, come on, can we try?
Yeah.
Yeah, I only want an emission. What? Seriously? Come on.
Yeah.
It's, if you're going to try to catch the people doing it wrong, how about you try and catch people doing it wrong? This is just keeping old people employed.
Yeah.
That's really, it's just like, they didn't retire from the PennDOT.
Yeah.
It's so bad news is easy to sell.
Yeah. I
And
mean,
that's
it
the
is.
shame of it.
You remember the dude with the YouTube channel that all he does is like he'll like take a fuse out or he'll break something in his car and then he goes and if they try and charge him a diag fee, then he says that he wouldn't take his shop there and he says they're a bad shop. If they try to charge diag, if they try to replace parts, if they don't catch immediately the thing that he broke on his car, then he claims they're a bad shop.
So he believes in the laying of hands on the hood and oh wait a minute, it's blue. It's a 15 amp fuse is blue. Yes. No, it's missing. Like, come on.
Well, I mean, what do you think, David?
There was a dude that made a video on an Audi that, because typically the conventional wisdom is, oh, well, just check the basic stuff first. And he's like, well, they always tell me to check the fuses when there's a problem.
Yeah.
And that's a video. The guy sets up shops. He normally will pull a fuse or something like that. He'll put in a pop fuse for something benign, right? And well, he showed the procedure to get to the fuse box on this particular circuit on this Audi, and it was like underneath the window cowl. I had to take all these parts off, the washer tank, and then the PCM had to be moved over, and then there was a cover that had bolts on it. It didn't snap off, and then there's another cover holding the fuses in place.
And you got to look at the voltmeter upside down backwards.
And then he's like, oh, the fuse was good. I knew the fuse was good, but I just wanted to show everybody what it's like to just check fuses real quick on this Audi. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's like we got. You'll remember the story. It's the lady who donated the money to the high school. We had a car come in, and the rear B pillar sunroof drains were clogged up, and so Eric had to pull the rear sunroof down because you have, or the not the rear sunroof, but the rear headliner, and then you have to pull the B pillar covers because the headliner's over top of the B pillars in this case. So you pull the headliner and then you pop the B pillars down and then you can get to the elbow. Now, if it's clogged and you can't get it out, you're going to have to disassemble this thing. But he didn't have to go like in front of just the first couple of connections on the headliner. So he pops it down and gets in. He's like, hey, it's clogged right in the angle. Well, they take it to the dealership for something else. And it was supposed to be a technical service bulletin. We provided them information that said these clips are known to break. We didn't get anywhere near these clips. Cost me like $5,700. I just paid to fix it, right? But it wasn't anything to do with us. But just because the service advisor said, "Oh, we clean sunroof drains for free," and they had, if they took all that stuff apart, they had to damage your sunroof, right? Now, no clue what he was even talking about, but it cost me $5,700, right? Just because people say things doesn't mean it's true, but the consumer expects you to make right based on what they say.
Oh yeah,
it's crazy.
Why'd you pay it?
Because I felt like it was the right thing to do. I didn't want her to think that I'd done something wrong. She gave $5,700 to the high school.
Okay, and?
I felt better about that. You
Screw the high school. No, get out of here.
I can't pay my bills now.
I didn't do anything.
Where's your shop at? Because I got a roof leak.
Mister.
You learned that lesson?
I mean, aren't you admitting that you did something wrong by paying the bill?
No. I told her, I said, I did not do this. And the dude from the dealership, the service director, called her and said, I don't think you should take his money. He didn't do anything wrong. And I said, nope, I want you to take my money because I don't want you to think for a second that if I did something wrong, I'm not going to make it right.
This doesn't make any sense. She takes it down to the dealer. The service advisor says they broke your sunroof.
Mm-hmm. They broke the plastic clips that hold the sunscreen on the bottom of the sunroof.
They were coincidentally broken. You guys didn't go anywhere near it. They just happened to be broken when she took it to the dealer for something unrelated to this.
No, she took it to the dealer because we gave her a technical service bulletin because about a month after we did this work, she came in and said, hey, ever since you did that work, it's making this sound. So we gave her the technical service bulletin that said, hey, here's this thing that happens. It's very well known. Don't want you to think it's anything to do with us, but because... Now she takes it to the dealer. And
hold on, but was it a recall or a service bulletin? Because if it's a service bulletin, I'm doing it in-house.
But it was a service bulletin, but they wouldn't sell us the parts.
Why wouldn't they sell you the parts?
Couldn't tell you.
All this sounds fishy. None of this makes any sense.
I've been over this story with you like 4 times.
I must have not been paying attention. It was one of those moments where I just tune out. You're just, beep, 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 and I'm like, often. I remember the story. I don't remember the exact details.
Hey,
I don't think I asked you.
I've been giving you, I quit taking it a long time ago because it gives you erectile dysfunction. So here, take a couple more. Quit trying to be such a dickhead. No, so this is the story. If you'll recall,
I remember the story. I do. I don't remember you paying the $5,700, and I don't remember it like the exact details that she thought that you had broken something, but it wasn't. It was just a common failure. Mm-hmm. But still, I would have fixed it in house.
Yeah,
I would have just found somebody to sell me the parts.
Well, the situation is that that option was kind of taken away from me because my staff took her the technical service bulletin. Me and you were on the road. My staff took her the technical service bulletin.
Handed it to her and said, "Go away."
No, they said, "Hey, go talk to them," because
they said, "Go away."
They'll do there was a potential of a warranty extension on it, and so
now that would be a reason for me to some to the dealership.
Yeah,
but since the dealership's 2 hours away, I would have called for him and said, "Is this thing going to be extended under the warranty?" She doesn't want to drive 2 hours just to have you guys not cover it.
She had a relationship with a particular Audi dealer. Now it turned into a really cool. He's a listener of the show. He knows we're talking about it. He's a listener of the show and really cool experience.
Audi or Volvo?
Volvo.
You said Audi.
Did I? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But it was a Volvo.
Okay.
Junk.
So the guy that screwed you over listens to the podcast?
No. The service manager listens to the podcast. The guy who screwed me over was a real estate guy who had signed up as a service advisor because he couldn't sell houses.
So now he's trying to sell service work.
Yeah. Turns out he wasn't very good at it.
I was just going to say, if you can't sell, you can't sell.
Yeah.
So I was wondering.
It came out to be a really...
Selling houses is not... You don't sell houses. Like, there's no selling in selling houses. It's not like you're selling a car or you're selling... Selling cars is a completely different... That's skill. Or selling flooring or roofs. That's a skill. or HVAC units, that requires like actual selling. Houses, no selling. There's no selling.
bro, I don't
you know what
know.
you do? You get them in the car, and we're gonna go look at some houses. And then you're like, "Did you like that house? I did like that house." So okay,
If you watch,
that's it. That was the selling.
So like those houses that I send you listings for occasionally,
Yeah.
like the really nice houses. I don't know if you've ever watched on YouTube the videos of the people who sell houses like that, like the YouTube videos they make of these giant mansions in New York City and
Yeah,
stuff.
what about it?
Oh man, I'm telling you what, that is a different level of talent and skill. I don't think
To
you just
sell,
a house like that. Yes, when you're talking about $15-16 million, like
you know what you have to be good at. You know what you have to be really good at getting the listing. That's what you have to be good at.
yeah,
Yeah, because basically there's a market.
yeah,
There's somebody can cut the check.
there is.
You
that.
just got to find them, and but if you got the
Well,
listing,
you want to be able to. You want to be the agent listing the $2.5 million house because
they're calling you right now. They want you to list it up. I saw XP Realty on there.
she had put a parts deposit down and said, "Make sure the parts are in stock before I bring the car back down." And I don't think we had called her. Anyway, you have to be good at getting the listing. If you can get good at getting the listing, then yeah, you're going to be able to sell the house because $2.5 million house is a lot of money. But if there's a market for it, somebody's going to cut the check for
but
$2.5 million. But you want to get the listing.
figured out is
There's the work.
the person who's spending that money. It's not a lot of money.
It's not.
They were already there.
It's not, but they also kind of feel entitled to the ability to bitch and complain about everything.
Maybe
I can listen to a
mean,
lot
but
of nonsense
You ain't got
for
no
10% of
millions
2.5.
Yeah, you bitch and moan about everything.
I don't bitch and moan about anything. Nothing bothers me. You kidding me?
You don't
I'm in the
count when
service
you're here,
industry.
right? You're not
What's that?
counting that.
Bitching at him?
Yeah.
I was just bitching at him for spending $5,700 for nothing he did wrong. That's stupid. I'm saying like, I just had I'm getting my house painted right now. I just got my basement redone. The back deck had to get put in. I don't care. I didn't like every little thing that my wife was like, she was nitpicking at like little things. I could have given two craps about any of it because I'm not
Does
out
it
there
work?
on it. Yeah, does it work? Is the deck standing? Good. Okay, I'm happy with it. I'm not out there on a Saturday banging away trying to put this deck in. They are. That sucks. I don't want to do that. I'm in here in the air conditioning playing video games. I'm not going to go out there and put that deck in. So I appreciate them doing it. And that's it. So if the little nitpicky thing is there, I can give it two craps. I just smile and nod. And here's the check. Appreciate you. That's it.
Don't worry, Compton will let you put that deck in.
What? That's gross. I don't know what you're saying. It sounds gross though.
But I'm with you that paying someone else's.
Yeah.
I got a buddy of mine. We have his property upstate and his old Ford tractor. Normally this thing runs like a rape tape. It's great.
Yeah.
But the rims rotted out. Big rims in the back.
Yeah. The split ones, like this.
No, they're not split, but they're like too big. And I'm like, he says, can you? I see, I did used to be able to.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to hear about that. We will roll them off, put them in the trailer.
Yeah. Take them.
And we will
let somebody
find
else
someone
with
to do
this.
it. I said, I'd be happy to help
Yeah.
you pay for that. No.
Yeah.
I
I tried
took the
that
weights
one
off.
time.
You can't make the weights that go on the rim off with one hand. You have to put something like a big screwdriver to give you a hand.
Yeah.
They got to weigh about 60
I don't
pounds
understand the inclination. As I had this customer come in. I've known her for years. She was in my B&I group. And she came down and we did an overall inspection of the vehicle and the brakes were squeaking. Every time you hit the brake pedal, the brakes would go, wow, wow, wow. And it's an MDX, Acura MDX. And I explained to her, I said, looks like the brakes just got redone, but they didn't replace the hardware. And you got to replace the hardware with the hardware with the Q at the end. The part number has a Q at the end. And if you do that, they don't make any noise. We have found that when you don't do that on Acura MDXs, Pilots, and Odysseys, specifically those vehicles, if you don't replace hardware, you just put the hardware that came in the box or you reuse the hardware. If you don't use the hardware with the Q, which has the coating, the anti-squeak coating, they squeak. So we just avoid the comeback, and we always use that hardware. I have a prepackaged like job that has the queue on it. Anyway, so I told her, I said, look, we just found that if you use this part number of hardware, it prevents this problem. And she's like, I knew it. My husband, you had quoted out the brakes. My husband wanted to save the money because it was like $1,200, right, to do front and rear brakes on an Acura. And he wanted to save the money, and so he had his brother help him do the brakes. And now I got to deal with his noise until the brakes wear down. And I go, yeah. And she's like, I don't understand. She's like, I know what he's good at. Well, just stick to what you're good at. What's this inclination that you want to? He's like, he doesn't need to be working on cars. Yeah. It's like, you're right, yeah. And I don't need to not be doing plumbing and deck work and painting. And like, I know what I'm good at. It's not that. It's not any of those things.
What? Could you enlighten the rest of us to what you're good at?
I can cook a really good meal on the cheap.
Dude, I'm going to tell you
Like I can feed a family of 6 for like less than $10. For less than $10, I will cook you a fantastic meal. For less than $10 for 6.
Dude, I don't understand why you gave me such a nasty look over that peanut butter and jelly last night.
I didn't give you a nasty look.
That was fire. That was good.
It was awesome.
You got to go try that place. What was the name of the place?
Josephine's.
Dude, Josephine's.
Okay.
Over here in town. Drive over there tonight. Tell me you want a peanut butter and jelly dessert. Okay? I'm just telling you. You need to do that.
It's downtown Lancaster.
The filet was on point. Okay. Very good filet. But the peanut butter and jelly was
Joseph's.
I mean,
got it.
I don't think I'll ever. You know who I'm pissed off at?
Huh?
Brett Fadley. I am so pissed off at Brett Fadley.
Why?
He keeps taking this thing and he moves it to all these places in Pennsylvania. I don't like anything about Pennsylvania but the food, but we're going to have to keep coming back to these places to eat.
Hold on. Where were we last time? It was Harrisburg, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The restaurants weren't that good.
No.
We went to that steakhouse that was inside that hotel.
Yeah,
that was decent. But it wasn't like when we were at the Poconos. It's not the same thing.
In the Poconos, there's amazing food in the Poconos.
My point is stick to what you're good at.
No.
Yes.
Expand your knowledge, David.
No. You can tinker, but if you're not going to get really good at that one thing, if you're not going to like push yourself to learn absolutely everything you can and get really, really good at it, then don't bother. Just let somebody else do it. Let somebody else do it. Pay somebody else to handle it for you.
That's good if you have money to pay somebody else.
Yeah. I mean, I did most of the repairs on this tractor. I pretty much, not the engine and trans, but the oil pump, the gear oil pump, and everything else, and no problem. It's enjoyable. Look, there's no customer. There's no 5 o'clock. It's my favorite work. I can just do it. Oh, it's 3 o'clock. Time for a beer. See you, bye. It'll be here tomorrow. I guarantee it.
Yeah.
This weekend, we built a shed. We built the wood base, did the shed. I did about 65% of the work, but that's fine.
Yeah.
There was no, we get it done when we get it done.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal. Now, I put the hardwood floors in my house, the first floor.
Oh, you're nuts.
Now, I paid someone to do the deck.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, no, I'm not digging them holes.
I'm not putting floors in my house. That's nuts. I'm just not doing it. You know why? I value my free time more than I value the money it's going to cost me. That's what it is.
Well, I got the floors for less than cost from a contractor, but he was moving. So, a 3/4 inch oak tongue groove, and it was great because my daughter did it with me and my brother-in-law. And
you did it for the experience.
It was. Yeah. I knew how to do it, and it was just like cruised right along.
Me, I would have like dreaded it every second leading up to it. I would have just had to muscle my way through it. I probably could have started with some energy, but about 20% of the way into it, I would have been like
second board. Right?
Yeah, second board, I would have been like, this is awful.
And he
how many more boards do I have left? 2,000? Oh.
Right. And I got to carry them inside throughout.
Well, and the finishing process. And he would just put them all in line, right? There would be one solid joint right
down the middle. Right down the middle. I wouldn't have cared either. I would have been like, that's what you get. You're getting it for free. That's the kind of work you
That was like the first thing I said. Because my wife was bringing the pieces when we got like halfway through. I said, you pick from that pile, then that pile, then that pile. I told my daughter, I said, don't let her give you two of the same length ever.
Yeah. Well, I've watched those videos of those guys who will take those floors and they'll build very intricate patterns and like I'm not sure if you've seen it. There's a guy who takes the tongue and groove and he cuts little pieces and he stains them and changes the grain and he'll like make different tongue and groove pieces and it looks like a 3D checkerboard when you walk over it.
Okay.
And he says that like one of those floors, like a 20 by 20 section of this giant floor, takes him over 1,000 hours to get this thing laid out and put into and I'm like, bub, I'm like 2 hours in, I'm burnt. I'm done.
That's great if you want to do it for yourself. Could you even get paid for that?
Yeah, dude. Hey, the president of Amway had a house on Lake Norman. Okay, giant eagle in the driveway of this house. Right, he paid over $1 million to have this thing cut and stained into the concrete. Okay. Like some people just have money. They don't care. It doesn't matter to them. We had a car in the other day that had to go to BMW for a recall. And the man said, yeah, just have them tow it down there. I'm like this is going to be like a $1,500 tow bill. Like, are you sure you want, like, don't you want, like, to take it down there?
$1,500 isn't worth his time.
It's got a steering wheel and 4 tires.
Well, that's the point.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. My weekend isn't worth the whatever $30,000 is going to cost to put the floors in.
Yeah, so
I'm going to pay somebody else $30,000, put the floors in. I get my weekends.
I don't know. I have a hard time wasting $1,500.
It's not a waste. It's not a waste.
Your weekend's worth $1,500 to you?
If it was a 2.5 hour drive there, then I got to wait at the dealership, and then 2.5 hour drive back, and who knows how long I'm going to at the dealership. So that's an entire day.
Or if they get it
I'm
right.
going to pay $1,500.
If they don't break a module.
Yeah, I know, right? Imagine that.
Well, that's their problem, not my problem. Once it gets dropped off, you're like, hey, get it fixed. I'd pay the $1,500. Now, if you had come back and said, well, it's going to be $3,500 at that point, I'm like, $1,500? Nah.
As long as it ain't your money.
Yeah, I guess.
It's I try not to spend people's money, but as long as they're good with it.
It comes out.
I was telling my kids
See
this
ya.
the other day. Like, we don't have car payments on our cars, right? Yeah. I don't have car payments. We drive old, beat-up cars. That's what they are. They got dents. They got... Whenever my wife drives my minivan, check engine light kicks on. Every single time she drives it. Not when I'm driving it, just when she's driving it. Whatever. Fine.
The Christie dent in the back is pretty cool.
The Christie dent in the back and the cracked bumper in the front, that was mine. My point is, vehicle's paid off. So I've got cheap insurance on the vehicles.
Transmission.
No, transmission's good.
You just got to fill it up with fluid every once in a while.
Yeah, and just got to top it off with fluid. So the vehicle's paid off. Now, somebody else, like my neighbor, I don't know, driving a 2023 Highlander. That thing's $700 a month, $750 a month that they're dropping. You know what I do? I go out to eat 3 times a week. I drop that $750 a week on restaurants. So we can all go out to eat and have a nice dinner.
What do you think Brett Fadley's doing over there? You see this? You been watching this?
No, I'm trying to, focus on the conversation here, Lucas.
It's the first time you've ever done that.
I'm sorry.
Bob, thank you for being here.
Hey, it's a pleasure.
Yes, sir.